echo. What up, though? It's another episode of Mentally Ill with Dez Cortez. Man, it's great to be back with y'all. And to my left, as always, my motherfucking homie, Mr. Hayes. What's happening, my dog?
What's happening, brother? How you feeling,
man? I ain't bad no more. But,
I feel that.
Yeah, so we like 20 minutes late because of my Crohn's. And like a lot of people don't even know what it is, you know what I mean, and what it's about. So you just like now seeing the commercials, you know what I mean? Like this medicine, and when they give you the medicine, like the side effects for the shit is the whole second half of the commercial. So like that's what you deal with. And she talking fast. Right. You know what I mean?
They like, pay for the 30 seconds.
I just had a stomach ache. I'm not trying to die, dog.
Right.
Like,
I feel you, bro.
You know what I mean? So it's that type of disease, but it built up this scar tissue in your intestines. And when you eat and the food goes through that area, it's very, very painful. So it's kind of like if you got a cut on your hand,
but you keep peeling the scab every day.
You know, like you got a cut on your hand, like you eating a lemon or something, and that lemon and that salt and all that. I
ain't even thinking about that.
Yeah, and then your stomach, like I ain't know how much that shit like regulate everything in your body. You know what I mean? So like everything started just falling off once I realized I had that shit. Right. So now, all right. So it's kind of funny how I found out about this shit.
Yeah, I don't even know the story about that. I just remember you telling me you had it, bro.
It was I had already been going to the doctors because they said I had ulcers. Okay. So I was going to the doctors. They said I had ulcers, and they said I had ulcers because I was drinking at such a young age. Yeah, so imagine a nigga
started early, bro.
20 years old getting told he already got ulcers because he was drinking. Yeah, that deep. Let you know like how bad shit was. But anyway, so it got bad in camp one year. We was in 2-a-days or whatever. And 2-a-days is already a hard situation. You know what I mean? And with Crohn's disease comes deep depression, other shit too. Right, okay. Which also lets you know how much your gut regulates everything in your body, your mood, all that. You know what I mean? So it can instantly just take you down or whatever. So whatever. So I felt worse than I usually had, so I went to the doctors up at Central Michigan. Right. And they was like, you know, we think we gonna give you a colonoscopy. We gonna, you know,
get you together right quick.
We gonna figure it all out. Right. So I get the colonoscopy or whatever, which is a hell of an experience. But any man that's over 50 should have one. Okay. It's very important for them to see what's going on, like that. You know, they can search for prostate cancer, all different other type of things. Right. Whatever. But you sleep and shit. Well, at least you think you sleep. While it's happening, so you like don't remember it or whatever. So it really ain't a bad situation.
I keep hearing, you know, whatchamacallit, they talk about it on the Breakfast Club all the time.
Oh, straight up?
Yeah, they promote that heavily.
Yeah, I bet he do.
Yeah, we know both of them. They do. But they do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they promote that heavily, bro. But apparently, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never had one, but I keep hearing great.
No, you need to. I mean, everybody I know that. I think like it definitely. But your shit has always been a better way for people, or a better way for a doctor to understand how you feel. You know what I mean? Like it's been that way throughout history. So like when you see dogs sniffing shit or sniffing another dog ass, that's because what's coming out of there is the real evidence of what's going on. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Ain't no lies coming out that ass. You don't know exactly what that person been eating. You know what I mean? Like that person can't lie. You know? My mama know I'm on my show, dog.
Man, she calling, man. You better answer, man.
No. Not this one. But shit. See my ADD. What was I talking about?
Crohn's.
Right. Yeah. So what part of the Crohn's?
No, you were saying how they can see.
So that's the that's how. Yeah. That's how animals do. But we did, before we was, feeling how we feeling, but now shit is just so scary to people. Right. You know what I mean? But in reality, if doctors would just take a sample, they would be able to determine everything that's going on.
That's crazy. I believe that though.
But everything.
Apparently, I just seen something side hustle. You can sell your shit to researchers, bro.
Yeah. And you also see like in New York and other places, they got like meters in like the sewers. And those sewers where, so they're determined if it's an outbreak of anything because those meters are detecting the shit.
What?
That a bunch of people who shitting around here. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
But dog, it makes perfect sense. It do make sense. That's just what it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro. And I can imagine it.
We just totally scared of it, but in reality, like that's the best way to really say what's going on.
All right.
So whatever. So all right. So I go get the colonoscopy. They're like, we gonna call you back in like 5 days.
Right.
Tell you what it is.
Right.
One thing that was funny too about the colonoscopy is I called my mom, like, Mom, I'm done with the surgery, She was like, I think you need to talk to them for a minute because this is the third time you can call me and told me that you're done with the surgery. So now I'm like, oh shit. Like,
right. Like,
what's going on?
Really?
And dude was like, yeah, that's just the medication. So the medication was like, it don't put you to sleep. Like you're totally there during the whole thing, but you just forget what happened.
That's crazy.
So you could have been in the worst pain you ever witnessed or felt in your life.
You just went to La La Land.
You just can't remember the pain and that it happened.
That's crazy.
So think about pain now, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you on that.
Like, if we could really just pass that shit, it would be worth so much.
That's real. That's crazy.
That shit is crazy. So we gotta get through the shit. All right. So he called me back in one day, like 2 days or something, and he like, man, I need to talk to you. So I called my mom, like, yeah, good. He ain't call me back. You know what I mean? Like, that must mean everything good. She's like, no, that ain't good, baby.
Right. Yeah, I feel you.
So he hit me up and tell me, like, you got something called Crohn's disease.
Right.
And nigga, I didn't know what the fuck that shit was. Like, I flat out thought it was an STD, my nigga.
Right.
I told you, nigga, I really was like, which one of these bitches gave me Crohn's? Nigga, like,
you hoes?
What the fuck is this shit? Like, nigga, I'm like, I got the whip of the whip. I done did it now, nigga.
Damn.
I done came with them letters, boy.
Man, that's funny as hell, dog.
I done came with them letters off one of these bitches.
That's hilarious, dog.
And then I was like, it's a gastrointestinal disease. And I still didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. But I, at least I couldn't spread it to nobody. It wasn't contagious.
I feel that.
So I could, I can use my dick again.
Yeah, man, with no problem.
I was happy with no problem. I ain't got to explain to no bitch. I got the Crohn's.
Right. That's funny, dog. Now, you ain't never had to, because I don't know if you know this, Tamika ex-husband.
Yeah,
he had Crohn's as well.
Yeah.
But he had
the bag.
Yeah, he had to wear that bag.
They asked me to.
They did?
Yeah, and I said nah.
I feel that.
Yeah,
listen, bro, that shit,
bro. And just, man,
that shit
walking around with my shit in a briefcase,
in the bag, bro,
all day. Like,
I couldn't imagine, bro.
I was like, man, just let me,
break
see
too hard, seatbelt,
anything, bro, anything.
Put some shit back in,
break or something, and nigga, you smell like
that. Smell was outrageous,
horrible, though.
Yeah, bro. I got to experience some of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, when I think he found out on some random shit, because I want to say. It's crazy, man, because he was in the hospital for a long time. So your story, I would. It's funny because I'm gonna see if we can get him on here because I'm curious to know his. We never really talked about it, but
I want to get my homegirl Braylon too. She's suffering from a bag. She got the bag right now.
Right.
So I want to get her. We might try to get them on the show together.
Right.
So people can really see how fucked up this shit is.
Yeah, bro. Listen, he I know for sure they was having a housewarming. As a matter of fact, the day that they was having a housewarming party. Man, I'm trying to remember. I just remember him saying he wasn't feeling good. You know what I'm saying? And that night, whatever, he ended up leaving, going to the hospital that night. So I'm around cleaning up, doing all of that. I want to say the following day, I ended up going to jail for a minute. and by the time when I got out, he was still in that motherfucker in the hospital.
Damn.
And I was like, oh man, you still,
you know
what I'm saying?
It get bad quick, dog.
Yeah, bro. So he was in there.
Bad quick.
Yeah. So I know that was a whole different, experience on his side, but for me to kind of see
that's
that,
how it is.
Yeah, and it was just like, damn, bro, you been in the hospital since you left that night. He like, yeah, bro, I'm still in this. I'm like, bro, that's nigga, I did a month and some change and came back, and you still in there. He like, yeah, bro. So
and it really ain't much they can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you really just gotta like tough that shit out.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is people can't see it. You know what I mean? Like it's so internal.
Right.
That when you be feeling so fucked up and so bad, people still be looking at you like, motherfucker, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Exactly. Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
I think that's what they was doing at the party because he didn't want to leave.
Right,
like, that was
and
like
they like, no, you
warming.
just being an asshole.
Right,
you like, no, motherfucker.
He like, no, I don't feel.
I can't even stand up straight.
Right,
it'd be that type of shit.
Yeah.
And when you wake up in the mornings too, like, nigga, that should be horrible. You know what I mean? Like, that shit be, that's the worst of the worst. So.
No, is that just from being sleep and everything still, you digesting and all that?
I believe you digest the most when you sleep. I don't know for a fact.
It makes sense.
Even if you're laying there and you're digesting right, it's concentrating on that and you getting all the whammy, my dog, of everything.
That's crazy. Ooh.
So, they telling me about the disease and they telling me, all the side effects and everything like that, or whatever. Not side effects, symptoms.
Right.
Telling me all the symptoms and everything. And I remember one dog that made me laugh. It was like constant diarrhea type shit, like almost like they was telling me like I was about to have to wear like a diaper type shit, right? So then, wait, I remember when we was in 3rd grade, dog, and we was playing football, and I had a little stomach ache and I sharted on myself, right? And this nigga Chris Black ran back to the school and told every motherfucking body. And nigga, I was doodle boy for like the next motherfucking 2 years,
bro. That is hilarious, bro.
So when this motherfucker told me this shit,
nigga Black got you, bro. That's funny.
So when this motherfucker told me that shit, I was like, I'm about to be like the doodle man.
That's crazy, though.
Like, I gotta go for the rest of my life, like on that type shit, nigga.
Yeah, for sure.
What if
you
I'm on
immediately
stage?
went back to 3rd grade?
That's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah.
Like, that's because that's how fucked up it was to me. You know what I mean? That's how traumatized.
Doodle dead.
I was doodle dead, nigga. Doodle dead.
That's hilarious,
nigga.
bro.
Like, they was tearing me up, bro.
Right.
I only shot a little bit, man. It wasn't even a big deal, man.
I was a kid,
nigga.
It don't matter. It don't matter. That's when you're gonna get it the worst.
They got down on me. So just to even think, like, I'd be on stage or something, and then I just shit on myself or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't. Like, they was telling me like that was my fate, and I couldn't do shit about it.
Right.
So nigga, it was fucking me up, bro.
I feel you, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, like, I said this shit before. Like, I can get in a fight and beat the shit out of 3 niggas, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I beat all their ass and then I get them everything and I done shit on myself, I lost.
They won.
I lost the fight.
I'm flat out. I feel you. They go beat the shit out of that.
It's about to go viral, my nigga. So now I can't fight. I can't do nothing where
bro,
it can be viral, nigga, because it may be bad for me. I'm like, this the worst fucking disease
crazy, bro.
in the history of diseases in life,
man.
And that shit always wait until you about to do some shit, and it be funny on the commercials because they be like it had like the band members there, and then like the lead singer, like they like waiting on the lead singer and shit. She in the bathroom and shit. If that be true, bro, like you be right when you dog.
That's
like,
funny, dog.
And that's why they was like, you can't play football no more because
bro,
you ain't gonna be able to be. You can't do shit.
Somebody knocked your shot.
Literally, they will.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to have that happen.
I feel you on that.
I don't care how many touchdowns I scored that game.
I ain't gonna let you live it down.
A nigga hit me and I shit on myself.
I ain't gonna let you live it down.
I lost. No matter what the team did, I lost. But it was a nigga who shit on himself at practice one time when I was at Central Michigan.
Big ass
nigga, man, 360 pounds, like
it always be
6'8".
It always be
us. Motherfucker getting in stands and shit. Nigga, I'm playing tail. I see this motherfucker getting this. I see this. I said, oh shit. Then you hear the coach. That nigga say, oh
yeah,
God,
like man, get out of here.
Go get him some pants. Damn, boy. Like, oh man, you too big to be shitting on yourself. But that's what we might have Crohn's too. Who knows?
Yeah,
but and see, but that's what I'm saying. Like that type of shit would happen to you. So when I went into that depressed state, not only does it bring you depression, but shit, you got some shit to be depressed about, my nigga.
Right. For real, I feel you, man. Can't really. You gotta watch everything. Real talk.
You don't know what you gonna, and if you get to it, and then that's why people be like, man, you don't ever get too excited about shit,
right?
And it be, man, get out of here. You don't ever get too excited about shit. And I'm like, I really can't because I learned if I get too excited about it, my Crohn's will start acting up, and I end up not even being able to go.
That's crazy, bro.
So I got to be nonchalant basically about everything that's about to happen. Because if I get excited, nigga,
anything can happen.
Nigga, I'm going to be the nigga on the commercial. They're going to be calling me up the stage.
He's not
Sky
available.
Rizzy.
Right.
Like got a movie.
Right.
You give him 1 minute a day.
Oh man. But
1 minute.
no, it ain't gonna be no 1 minute.
That's the church finger.
No, and like you know what I mean, the places that you can't go because what if you gotta use a bathroom?
Right.
You ain't using a bathroom in them places.
That's real.
So you gotta be able to make it to the crib. Like you know what I mean, it's a whole bunch of different type of shit, bro, that goes on with that shit.
So let me ask you this: when you because I know you cut out the meat and all that too a while ago, but when let me rephrase that. What have you noticed a difference in like what you eating and how that affected? You know what I'm saying? Like, did that change your diet quite a bit?
100%. That's when I realized how fast what you eat changes how you are.
Okay.
Like, that's some really instantaneous shit. And I never thought about it like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought about you eating, you know, you've been eating and it just, you know, continually go through.
Right.
But in reality, as soon as that shit basically hit your palate, things change about your body.
Your body automatically going to digestion mode. I ain't know that.
Automatically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I kind of had to just understand what the fuck was going on.
I feel you.
Just listening
to your body.
Basically.
Yeah. I feel that.
Because it basically tell you everything that's really going on.
Right.
Especially with that shit because, you know, that shit got some shit where it's like bad breath. You know what I mean? Like, and then you know, like you done ate the wrong shit. And that shit is dying.
Rotted inside.
It's dying. It's like you leaving some nasty ass food or some stinking ass food in the refrigerator or something. Or no, not in the refrigerator, out.
Right.
And how that shit starts stinking and rotting. That shit do that shit in your motherfucking stomach, bro.
I feel you. I just threw my sidebar. I just threw one of my refrigerators went out.
Oh.
And it had shit in it, and I didn't know it went out. I just had, and the funny part is, you seen how little that kitchen is, bro. I had to take the doors off.
The kitchen?
Had to take doors off the fridge to get it through the doorway of the kitchen.
Oh,
so
man.
It was all bad, bro. I was like, that's a great example of what you're saying, just because that's really what happened, man.
But that's going on in your motherfucking
in your
stomach,
body, bro. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So that's why, man, if it get too bad, it really just end up just cutting your shit out, like pieces of your shit out, because they said like your intestines really could like stretch like a mile or something like that. Like it's
something crazy.
It's real super long, but at the same time, you can't really be.
I think the women's is I think the women's is longer than the guys, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, so they can just cut the bad parts out if it get too bad,
right?
And you know, fuse your shit back together. But that's when you got to get the bag and other stuff too.
Right. Yeah, that's wild, bro.
So yeah, so
I'm glad I'm glad you be holding it together, dog. Because it don't. You know, I totally forget about that shit every time until you actually say it.
You're gonna have to learn how, because people don't give a fuck.
Right.
And that's why I said, like, Crohn's disease people gotta be the strongest motherfuckers, because it's like having something that can't nobody see. You know what I mean? Bro. Like it's some of the worst shit ever.
Bro, that's a whole different.
And don't nobody give a fuck, nigga. You know what I mean?
I mean, how can they though? Ain't nothing nobody can do. So,
and they don't understand. And when I say I got a stomach ache, bro, I ain't talking about no gargle shit that you get when you eat a bad sandwich or some shit.
Right.
I'm talking about, nigga, this is
organs.
Yeah,
yeah, I feel you.
So, shout out to everybody who got Crohn's, man. And, just know I'm thinking about y'all. And I love y'all. Somebody out here for you, man.
That's real though,
that
bro.
Shit suck.
Yeah, I know. I feel you, bro.
No cure at all. At all.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
But I ain't even, I really ain't expect to talk that much about that.
It's all good.
Because today, which I can tell for some when I say what it is, it's like could be believed to be somber.
What you mean?
And that's the Book of the Dead.
Oh, right. I got you.
And what that is certain episodes where we'll stop and we'll pay homage to our homies that we lost.
Right. For sure.
Say a few things about them. You know what I mean? Just bring light to them. You know, and in the Spanish custom, different things like that. Like, that's significant in making sure you're keeping the souls of them people alive.
For sure.
So they never forgotten for the things that they did while they were here.
I feel that.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through, say a couple words, switch on and off about,
For sure.
the different homies that we lost. Try not to forget nobody, because what's crazy is mentally...
it's too many. I ain't gonna lie. We're going to forget somebody.
We've lost so many that... Like, our minds really takes that as a depression state and try to file that shit so far away.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because we don't really even need to be thinking about that shit, and that's how it is. So I know we gonna miss some people, but
that's real.
At the same time, we still gonna be able to pay homage to the ones we want to.
That's for sure. You want me to start off?
Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna start off with my mama. You feel me? On some real shit. I got to, bro. You know what I mean?
All day.
So first off, man, one thing that a lot of people don't know is I lost my mother when I was 14. Mm-hmm. Crazy story, and I can really get into real detail, but there's a crazy story behind it on when she passed and how it happened. But long story short, she was sick. She had some ailments going on. You know, I know that me personally, I will say that you know, me knowing what I know now as an adult versus back then, or really just everybody in general, because we all got a better understanding with all this information that we got available to us. But I think she would still be here had we had that, you know, information available. Oh, and I say that to say because, and when people talk about, you know, your mind being in it, mind over matter, and you manifesting and all that, man, I believe it's so much because I was able to see her. You know, I remember the first day when they brought that big ass machine. She was on oxygen 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So that's when I knew shit was real. But I say all that to say when she
was on oxygen for a long time.
She was on oxygen forever, bro. For the last, probably like the last.
Bro, that's just.
I might have been forever. Like 10 when they brought that machine in there. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was when you got to think. That was when she had to be on it 24 hours. Prior to that, it was like when she was doing stuff. So if she go out or whatever, she had to have that little green tank.
That green pulley tank. Right.
So, you know, she had to have it. But like I said, that wasn't nothing until I saw that machine at the crib running. And you had to keep watering it and do all of this other shit. And then where it was at, it was on the landing of the stairs so she can go up and down with no problem. 50-foot at cord. It was crazy, bro. But either way, during that time, man, you know, I started realizing as I got older, like, man, we can do so much better. So, like, right now, I'm doing this fruit fast. I'm doing a 30-day fruit fast, day 11. You know what I'm saying? I actually feel great. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been sluggish and none of that, except for getting up super early in the morning. If I don't go to bed till 11, 12, and I'm waking up at 5, then I might be a little. But other than that, my energy been up, bro.
That's good.
Yeah, man, I've been getting shit done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep it going. You know, this day 11, so sidebar, but it's something that I'm doing. I'm just doing it because I felt like that was the right thing to do. Yeah, so anyway, going back to my mom's, but I'm going to say, so, you know, I realized how much stuff she taught me, man, and she would say stuff. And she probably said this to you too, bro, because I say it to my son now. And I just be like, I ain't gonna be here forever, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to da. Yeah. But when I look back at it, it was like, oh man, she was really prepping me because now I remember when she was saying that. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, 8th grade year, right? When we went to DC, right? DC trip. She flat out sat me down. This is one of the biggest lessons and I never even realized this until I was probably in my 30s. But man, we sat down at the dining room table, bro, in Geneva, and she looked at me and said, "Hey, you want to go on this trip?" I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "I ain't got the money." Flat out, I ain't got it. This how much it costs. I think it was like $400 and some dollars. She was like, "This how much it costs. So, what do you want to do to make the money for it?" And I was sitting there like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" But we sitting at the dining room table, bro, and I literally sat there for the longest. And I don't know if you remember this, dog, but the only thing I can think of, I was like, make some money. All right, bet. The school, Cornerstone had a school store. And I think it was, once every so often. It was like every other Friday or one Friday out the month or some shit. But I realized how everybody was in line for the school store. We would buy up shit that we could get for the Lowe's around the corner, but for whatever reason.
Because we was getting it at school.
So when I remembered that, me and her came up with this plan, bro. I literally signed my first contract. This is where it get real because I didn't realize that this is what it was. My mama told me I got $40 or $45, whatever it was 10% of the amount. So if it was $400 to go, it was $40. She was like, I got $40 to invest. Once she told me, she literally told me about investing. I'm gonna put up the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. I want my money back. You feel me, bro? She wrote it out. We signed it, dog. Long story short, I was banging chips and shit and everything out my locker, dog.
Yeah, I mean, we selling candy like a motherfucker.
I was
yeah,
clowning, dog.
That's how I got there selling them candy bars.
Right, you feel me?
Yeah.
And the only time I got busted when I started selling pickles. If you remember that, because they was trying to figure out that's what.
All the pickles hit your.
I had to run like never before. But the fucking pickles, bro. My goofy ass was in that bitch with some tongs and a big ass pickle jar from the Warehouse Club.
Yeah,
before Sam's Club and Costco, it was the Warehouse Club on 8 Mile.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
You remember that, bro? I had the chips, the cookies, the donuts, the muffins,
big
all that shit.
Jar, though, like
and that big ass jar of pickles, bro, and I was just passing the bitches out.
Stanking up the whole motherfucking school, nigga.
Come to find out, the janitor was trying to figure out, like, I done mopped this hallway 5 times. Why it still smell like pickles? Because kids running around this bitch with pickle juice and pickle everywhere. And I got a big ass jar that probably had a puddle of pickle juice at the bottom of my locker,
my nigga, you went to DC.
And I went to listen.
We went to
DC, fresh as hell.
We went to
with
DC,
money in my pocket, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yes,
it was well dope as hell. I don't even think about that shit too, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that shit was wild, bro.
We really was out there,
bro. You got to speak,
bro. I got to speak for Congress.
You
bro.
hear me, dog?
Like
that was some.
When
dope
I
shit.
saw the picture and it's like I wasn't even thinking about it then. Like the Capitol is behind me and everything, and I'm
all of us in the back chilling. They was talking about I look like your security.
That shit was funny. It really do like we on some Farrakhan shit. Nigga. That shit do.
That's for real, bro.
But it's like we don't even stop and even think about that type of shit, bro.
Yeah.
We had all fucking Congress, dog, in there looking at us like, dog.
Bro, that's real talk. One person I'm going to mention, too, I'm going to call him Uncle Skeet. You know what I'm saying? Because he worked, I don't know if you remember, I got a call. Mm-hmm. Damn, was we in the same room together? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, I remember when we got to the hotel, I ended up getting a call, and they was like, your daddy on the phone. I'm like, what? Like, nigga, we just who? They're like, your dad on the phone. Come to find out it was Skeet. Skeet was a Secret Service. So he ended up finding what hotel we was at and all of that.
Damn.
Told me like, hey, if anything go down, let me know. I got you. I know where you at. I'm here.
I don't remember that.
He was Secret Service, bro. So he ended up passing. So shout out to Uncle Skeet. You know what I'm saying? He was showing love. Even though, I was about to say I ain't tell nobody like that.
That's some real killer shit, bro.
Yeah, he was letting us know like, oh, you good? Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But apparently he knew everything. Come to find out, he ended up calling the crib while I was gone. They told him, he in DC. So he called everybody. I mean, he ended up finding us.
You want to hear something?
What?
Remember they was sending all the aides down to help us? And it was like a bunch of like young white girls.
To help us do it?
They was like
when we was just going
walking us around and talking to us.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you remember one of them was Monica Lewinsky, bro?
Man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Absolutely.
Get out of here, dog.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
Bro, that's crazy. Bro, that's wild. I didn't even realize that, bro. That's
one was
crazy,
Monica Lewinsky,
dog. That's deep right there. Shout out to Monica Lewinsky. Shout out to Monica and Bill.
But what's the chances?
That's
bro?
wild.
What's the chances?
Hey, we was right there. Shit.
Hey, bro,
we
like,
was in the house.
And
we was in that White House.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All day. We was walking. Man, come on, bro. They had That was.
It was a hell of an experience, bro. That was my first flight
experience.
And everything. You know what I'm saying?
It was a hell of an experience.
Yeah, most definitely.
And then when us get out the plane, people was clapping for us and shit. Like that shit was crazy.
That shit was crazy, dog.
That shit was tough.
But that was because of your speech, man. You know what I'm saying? I forgot about that. We should do a whole. We should get everybody up here. Everybody in Cornerstone class.
Before coming to Cornerstone, I was just a young boy in a rough neighborhood.
Right. You feel me?
Who was told and believed that I wouldn't amount to anything.
That's how you started to
That's
speak,
all
right?
I remember, dude. That's all I remember.
That's classic.
And I remember in there, and then, so bam, this going to segue right into my first person for the Book of the Dead.
Right.
I remember in there, it said, my father is a drug addict.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I
remember you said that.
It was going to be on national TV.
Yeah.
And I told them I wanted to take that out of the speech.
They was like, hell no, that's what got you here.
They was like, that's when you know how it is. They was like, I'm sorry to tell you this, Desmond. Right. Once a drug addict, always
that's
a
wild.
drug addict.
Wow, that's wild, bro.
So that's we gonna need you to say that,
right? That's crazy.
And I remember my daddy really looking at me like one day before I left, like, you really about to tell the world,
right?
You know what I mean? Dog,
like, what can I say?
To have that on your shoulder, like I wouldn't even think about that. Have that on your shoulders as a kid.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Go there and do that shit. But speaking of, so my first person is my pops. So.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
I miss that man so much, man. Taught me so much. And what's like crazy is if you talk to certain people who parents like had an addiction or something like that, then that's like only thing that they can think about.
Right.
But like my pops was so strong, like that was just the only, like, not the only limitation, but that limitation was something that I didn't necessarily see the way I see now.
Gotcha.
Now you got these opioid shits, you know what I mean? When these white kids start getting addicted, when they really show that the government got everybody addicted to these opioids in the first motherfucking place. You know, I don't know how people could even trust these motherfuckers, but anyway.
Right.
You know, they started making more programs and things like that to show people exactly what it is. You can't really even call them addicts no more. It's opioid, addictive disease, or you know, it's something of that nature.
It went from addiction to a disease.
All they did was, you know, throw my daddy in motherfucking jail all the goddamn time, and when he was just really, you know, screaming for help.
Bingo.
So, now I kind of look at it a little bit differently and see what he was going through. Like I said, man, they was out in the wars overseas getting them good drugs, dog. That good heroin, which is totally different from what they was coming back here and getting.
Right.
And then they come back here and they getting this and this, that bad shit, you know what I mean? And then it went bad for them.
Yeah.
They started doing shit that they would never do before to get that fucking trash, man.
Yeah, bro.
And they kept putting it back in their bodies, you know what I mean? And then that's just what it became. But the crazy thing is, like, my dad's legacy still was able to like live past that. Like, I got homies in the hood who still, when they talk about my daddy, like they tear up.
Right.
They're like, nigga, your daddy was my daddy, nigga.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
You know what I mean? And I just see how, like, the way people used to treat him and how he used to light places up, you know what I mean? Like,
Real daddy was funny as hell, bro.
He was funny as hell. He was a speed reader.
Funny
like, this nigga, dog, he was he was brilliant, but at the same time, when you look at the people who suffer from those the most, are a lot of the brilliant people. Right. You know what I mean? Especially then.
That's right.
So, it just goes to show what was going on with him, but he was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter what he looked like, you know, even though he looked like an addict sometimes, you can tell what was going on, he still wanted to see me play my games. He still, you know what I mean? He still wanted to be there, no matter how he looked or what he was going through.
That's for sure. And you know what I love? I'm gonna just throw this in here too, man. Your pops definitely, you know, your friends. He made sure he was dropping gems on all of us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even when we wasn't in the mood for that shit or didn't want to hear it or whatever the case was, he was just making sure he was dropping gems, bro. Because, you know, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? To me, anyway. Especially like me having a son now, realizing like, oh, them niggas, I don't like you talking to them.
And he knew what we was going through.
Right. Bingo.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and he was trying to warn us, you know, as much as he could. Sure. We wasn't listening all the damn time, but at least he was one of the people who was there to try to warn us. Man. Right. It was motherfuckers who wasn't on drugs, who wasn't willing to tell us shit.
Wasn't trying to teach us a damn thing.
You know what I mean?
Real
and
talk.
He never was on no, you know, do as I say, not as I do. You know what I mean? He was more so on the, you see how this shit is.
Exactly.
You do it,
better get it together.
Motherfucker.
Right, for sure. That's for sure.
And just my dad gotta be the first one, man, because I really miss him, and I know. Man, he would be fooling right now, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
All these grandkids playing ball, all this shit, man. Like, I can just imagine him being at one of my movie premieres, bro.
Exactly.
Like, he wouldn't even let nobody take no pictures, dog. That be right out there, chest big, saying, dog, you know what I mean? Like, super proud.
Fixing your ties and shit.
Right, right. You know, and I know he watching it, you know what I mean? I know what he doing, but it's just dope to be able to think about it in a different light and just to see how powerful he was when I thought it was something that was a weakness. You know what I mean? So, and he's able to beat that shit too.
That shit deep, man. Because his whole story is, I ain't gonna lie, you should probably do a movie on that.
Got to, bro. He's able to beat that shit. Like, how? You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, 15 years.
Right.
Beat that shit. And when he was doing it for 40, he was able to beat that shit for 15 years.
That shit dope, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Can't, bro. That shit virtually impossible, bro.
Right. But yeah, bro. So shout out to my man Kim.
Yeah.
Kim, he was Cortez, right?
Yeah, Kim Cortez.
Kim Cortez. What I thought, right?
Yeah. Dez Cortez, Kim Cortez.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So man, next, man, I'm gonna jump right off to I'm gonna definitely mention my grandparents and them, of course, but they played a lot in everything. Even when my mama passed, my grandmother definitely stepped in a lot with me. You know what I'm saying? Just checking in and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I had a bunch of aunties and uncles that never talked to them again. You'd have thought they died too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But definitely want to throw them in there. But I definitely got to mention my dog Adrian. My man Adrian Mathis, man. A-Mac the bro is what we used to call him. Met Adrian, man. I want to say 18 or 19. I want to say we was fresh out of high school when I met Adrian. And, long story short, man, the guy, man, he played a lot into... It wasn't until he passed this past November that I realized, like, who I am today, how much he played a part. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, some people you don't really realize that with, because I ain't grow. Like you watch. We done went through puberty together and shit. This situation was different, but it was like me and him would break off, and then I bump into him somewhere. Oh, you going to college here? I'm just so happen to be down here working or knocking doors or whatever. All kind of stuff. So we would bump into each other over time, bro. But I say all that to say, people get put in your life, man, and you really don't understand how much of an effect that they may play on your life and how much you may play on theirs. But I will say, he was one of the guys that we expressed, nigga, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And, when he was gone, bro, it was just like I started thinking about everything. Where I live at, you know what I'm saying? He was a major key factor in my crib. You know what I'm saying? Major key factor in the jobs that I was working at. You know what I'm saying? Certain points or certain jobs that I had. A lot of the people that's in my life. You know what I'm saying? That I really fuck with because of him. He played a part in. Even when I was doing parties, bro, like that first party I threw, man, motherfucker sold like 20-something tickets himself, and then wasn't trying to keep none of the bread. He like, no, man, put that towards. He was just all about whatever I had going on. You know what I'm saying? So he was actually part of the reason I kind of put that party together too, because I wasn't even gonna do no party this year for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? But it hit me like, dog, he didn't even make it to C4. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of hit me this year because he would have been 40 this year. So anyway, I just realized, like, overall, you got people that's put in your life, and it may be the randomest. I met him through some other niggas I used to hit the River Rock with. You know what I'm saying? Like, low key, we used to go to the River Rock together all the time.
The River Rock.
Right. And then, I would be, and we ended up getting cool because I was the one he stayed far as hell, Farmington and some shit. Wasn't nobody about to take him back home at 2, 3 in the morning. Everybody scared shit. He like, nah, I gotta go. I'm like, bro, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So, stuff like that, man. But I say all that to say, man, you never know who in your life or how long they gonna be in your life. Would have never expected him not to be here right now today. He'd have been perfect for doing something like this, real talk. But he played a major part in my life as far as what I do, how I do it. When I got in the truck and he was there, when I started doing all kind of shit, he played a major part. So I'm gonna just shout out my man Adrian, A-Mac, the bro, and of course the rest of the Mathis family for sure. For sure. That was my guy,
man.
Can we get an applause for my dog, man? There we go.
Next, I gotta go with Lil Nick.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nick Robinson.
For sure.
Of course, my granny, which I'm gonna talk about her too, but you know what I mean.
Right.
But just so we can, get off the family for,
right. I got
you. Lil Nick, like, man, I met him when he was like kindergarten, bro, and we had been tight. Even when he was living like, down on 4, he was living on the other end of the tracks. We still wound up, like you said, even like we wind up being in the same
all
like,
the time.
You know what I mean? Like it really wasn't. It was crazy. I mean, then of course we wound up being in the same classes and different things like that. But
right.
As we grew up, that nigga was so small. But that nigga was.
He was a big
most
dog.
Fearless nigga.
He was a big dog.
He's one of the most fearless people I've ever met in my life, dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? And but the love in that nigga was just as,
right, just as big.
And I be telling like all these little niggas now, like, dog, everybody love Nick. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what type of gangster shit or what the fuck he did, when he got home or whatever, people didn't know. People wouldn't believe at all the shit that nigga did.
Nah, man.
Just because of who he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
And that nigga, and I remember because he did 8 years, I remember.
He did 8? Damn, it was 8?
Yep, and I remember he first got out of prison, and we was hanging.
Right.
And he got to be in at a certain time because they called on that house phone. Nigga, you don't answer that house phone. That's your ass.
That's your ass. We pulling up.
We was out, dog, and I never forget that shit. Fucking with Brandy and them. We was out, we was chilling, and I was like, dog, you got to go home. He was like, nah, I'm straight.
Right.
Nigga, the next morning,
nigga ended up violating.
He was gone, bro. I'm like, no, them niggas blaming on me. Like, he was out with you, nigga. Right. I'm like,
he was on his own.
No, I should have threw that nigga in that bitch and took him. Whatever it took. But then he got, he ended up getting out and serving all his time. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing, right before he died, day before he died, he was supposed to move in over on Hull with me.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because remember, we was staying on Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
He was working at the building across the street. Yeah. He's like, them niggas over there don't really like me over there. Yeah. Right. So when we moved to Hull, or when I moved to Hull, I had an extra room.
Okay. That's crazy. I ain't never know
the room that Brian was in now.
Got you, right.
Well, was in then. That was supposed to be Nick's room.
Supposed to be Nick's shit. That's crazy.
And then them niggas start calling me the next day.
Damn. Man. What was that there? That's deep. Yeah, I never knew that, bro. That's for real.
Bro.
Yeah, I never knew that part.
Like that shit right there, dog.
Yeah, that sucked. That's for sure. I know that was a game changer for you. You like, damn, what?
How? Nigga, I was just how? Like, nigga, how?
Yeah, bro. That's crazy.
This how, bro? Like, I don't know, how do they get picked? You know what I mean? Like, it just always baffles me. Like, how do they get picked?
Right.
You know? And it ain't for us to know, really. You know, it's the universe and how it goes, but and the decisions that people make all the time. But you know, it just be crazy how they get picked.
Yeah, bro.
'Cause I know some niggas that done did some unbelievable shit and they chilling, or that's just what it looked like. You know, what I mean? I can't say what it really is, and they mental, but a lot of motherfuckers who was loved and shit is gone.
Yeah, that's for sure.
My nigga Nick, I definitely got to say one to him.
One time for Nick, one time for Nick.
One time Nick ride.
Yeah, bro. Right. Let's distinguish which one. My bad.
Right.
So I ain't gonna lie, man. Shit, jumping back to me, I'm gonna have to feed off of that one, man, with Forrest, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had great memories with Forrest, man. Forrest Hobson. He went to Liberty 3rd grade. I want to say he started Liberty in 3rd grade. I want to say. But man, that was also a fearless guy. You know what I'm saying? He
was because I ain't meet that nigga till we was in 6th grade.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I ain't know if he was in 6th grade or whatever. Yeah. But I remember he was in class and he was like playing behind Miss Trap Booty. You remember that?
He did so much shit. It didn't make no sense.
Playing behind her booty, like dog. He right close to her booty, bro. Like doing all nigga.
And she was the one,
bro. She did have big old.
She did. Big old ass.
Yeah. She realized what was going on. Nigga, she turned around, grabbed this nigga lips. She probably went off.
No, she went off.
Oh, that shit was fun, dog.
Is she still alive?
Yep.
Okay, I saw her. Shout out to Miss Trap, man.
I love Miss Trap, man. She was dope as hell, bro. They was doing the best with what the fuck they gave them, man.
Right. Most definitely.
I saw her at the airport.
Okay, right. Yeah, I think you told me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bro. But yeah, man, Forrest definitely, he was it was funny, man, because he used to act out, but then it was like certain people, man, he would turn into a different person. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just the coolest motherfucker you could ever meet. I ain't gonna lie, do you remember that time we man, what was that, man? We went to the fireworks. I want to say this was when we went to the fireworks. I know one of the years we went down there.
Was we deep as hell? Like,
we was deep as hell. Deep. But remember, we ran into him in Greektown, bro. He was by himself. And we had to be like 14, dog, 13, 14, bro. He was by himself, dog. Downtown in the middle of Greektown. Just chill. Like he was, don't get me wrong, I think he was high as hell, but he was, you know what I'm saying? He was just zoned out. That's in his own zone.
He was getting that high when we were
at 14. Yeah, bro. That's for sure. But if I'm not mistaken, Billy was driving. This was the year Billy ended up driving.
Okay.
So I remember that because I think we caught the bus down there and you ended up riding with Billy. So we was all talking shit. Like, this nigga got us over here. We had to catch the bus. But on the way back, we ended up piling in the back of the Jeep. We was in somebody's Jeep, but long story short, I know Doug remember that shit, man, because me and Doug was in the back with him.
With Forrest?
With Forrest. We made Forrest come. I want to say Doug was like, nigga, you coming with us. Like,
damn,
man,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like, man, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. So anyway, man, long story short, it's a million memories I got with Forrest, man. I done heard some hilarious stories with Forrest, but definitely want to shout him out because that was my dog since 3rd grade. We never had no problems. I seen that man beef with niggas and go all the way there. Me and him ain't never had no problems, dog. You know what I'm saying? I think we punched each other a couple times and realized that was it.
My nigga Forrest.
My nigga A-Sense. Yeah.
All right, bouncing off Forrest to another nigga that lived between Hamilton and 3rd. My nigga T Noble, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out my nigga Turtle.
My nigga Terrence Noble. That was, man.
Big
that
dog,
was my dog.
Hey man, Terrence had the. You know what I love about Terrence, man. If he loved you, you knew it.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? And if he hated your ass, you for damn sure know.
Yeah, I mean, and that ultimately led to his murder too.
Right, I believe that. I believe that. See, I don't know all the details, man, and I try not to.
I don't want to know, but I'm just saying that like that's just what he liked to do.
Right,
you
for
know
sure.
What I mean, he would love to show us love.
Yeah,
but he loved to show us hate.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It was very, like,
he didn't care.
He was like one of the first niggas that my mama ever let spend the night at our crib. Right. You know what I mean? That type shit. Or ever let us go down there on 3rd to spend the night. Like that was unheard of with all the shit that was going on. You know what I mean? He's the only one. And I remember that nigga used to always take his cereal, pour his milk on that shit, and sit it down for that shit to get soggy.
That's funny you remember that shit.
Dog.
Why do I remember that?
That shit used to be so nasty, bro. Like, what is you doing?
Right.
Like, it's a little too hard for me to eat right now. Like, that shit was horrible.
Hey, I know a guy right now microwaving cereal, bro. Just to do that.
That's horrible.
Crazy.
Something wrong with that motherfucker.
Something wrong, guys.
But, and it was like, and then just to put we can put his little brother in there too.
Right.
Because little brother got murdered first.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was one of the first times as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, nigga, this shit real.
That shit real. That shit right down the street.
And then for him to also ultimately get murdered also.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we share a niece. We felt like brothers anyway.
Right.
But then we were really family once,
Right.
The Niger came.
For sure.
Blessed to have to share a niece with him. But I'm gonna miss my dog.
That's for sure, man.
Forever and ever, man. That's
for sure, man. Good memory with him, man.
Somebody definitely always gonna be brought up in the book of the dead for sure.
That's for sure, for sure.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg of this.
I know, man. I gotta jump on.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
When we was playing football at Liberty, you remember I was playing quarterback. He came tackle me from the back. It was cold, and I hit my head on the ground.
I remember that.
And I got up and I had a big stupid ass lump on my head. You remember that?
I remember that, dog.
And he gave it to me, right? A few years later, I was playing for the Jets. Wild. He was playing for Highland Park.
You got his ass back?
We had our pads on.
Hey, man.
Y'all head up in front of my house.
Straight up.
I tore that nigga shit off. Hey, that nigga had a big ass lump on his head.
That's funny as hell, dog. Shout out to my man
T Noble, dog.
That's for sure, man. We got to throw mine in there, of course, man. We can't mention T without mine, bro.
Can't.
You know what I'm saying?
That was definitely my next one on the list.
Yeah, that's for sure, bro. You already know. I got to throw him in there, man.
He was one of the best people ever, dog. Flat out.
Listen, man. Let me tell you something, man, about my dog, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had nicknames and jokes and shit, but when I tell y'all, man, that man came to Liberty on the second day. Shay might remember this, too. Second, I was the pretty boy before Mike got there. When Mike got, look, everybody was on me, man. Mike got there, dog. It was over with. I remember being at the crib like, damn, what is going on? But I ain't gonna lie, man. He was legitimately since kindergarten.
My nigga.
He was one of the coolest motherfuckers I ever met. I done seen him mad, but I ain't never seen him mad. He never
dumbass smile.
Big all the time.
Stayed
man.
On his face.
Super funny, man. Silly as hell, man.
Didn't fuck with nobody.
Yeah, man. Every time I bumped into him, man, it was always love, man. You know what I'm saying? I look at his number. I almost text him on Father's Day, like whoever got this number.
No, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
I did that too one time, dog.
Yeah, bro.
I said, I'm sorry I text you, dog. But I'm just saying, I just had to just send this to my dog.
That's for sure. That's for sure, bro.
They was like, all right, cool. I could. I just had to, bro. Like I just don't ever remember seeing that nigga on no big stupid ass smile on his face.
Always,
and
man.
we had to run a joke, nigga, who had the biggest head in motherfucking Highland Park.
Oh my god,
he's like, no, nigga, you got the biggest head in Highland Park. Like, no, nigga, you got the biggest head in Highland Park. No, shut up, nigga. You don't get no vote.
That's funny.
But you know what I mean? Like that was our running joke with each other. You know, I get a vote.
About to jump in there.
Yeah, shut up, nigga.
Right. But yeah, bro, that's funny, dog.
Just man, that's my motherfucking dog, bro. Just shut up, man. His head was bigger than mine. Man, he can't. You know what I mean? And I miss him.
Right.
Miss him to death. Definitely didn't need to lose him.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Thank God for the time I got to spend with him. But
I'm with you on that, bro.
Yep. Shout out to him,
man. So yeah, man. Well, shit, I know I can't probably jumped on that.
Was on. Oh yeah, that was on me, huh?
Right. It's all good.
I got to go with my cousin Lamont. My cousin Lamont, I don't know if you knew him, man. He's one of my older cousins, man. He passed. He was definitely one of the cousins that I looked up to a lot.
Right.
So we don't got a lot of time.
Right, I got
you. So I'm going to just try to go through some of the other lists too, just to.
Right.
But I really want to talk about all these people, and we're going to have another one of these episodes.
For sure.
But some of the people that
we could do a whole series on this one. Right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Some of the people that we're going to talk about in the future, my cousin Lamont.
Right.
Bubba.
Oh, right, okay.
Benny Welsh.
Yeah,
I don't know how we couldn't get to him. Lil Pud, J-Rock, Lil Pud, man. I remember crying, dog, in my locker at school, bro, at Central Michigan. I just couldn't believe that shit had happened.
Yeah, bro.
But anyway, Young Cortez.
Of course, man.
Got to talk about Lil Cortez, HP, killer for life, bro.
That's for sure, man.
Man, gotta make a movie about that nigga.
That's for sure,
I got a homie, Joe. He was a DJ. He did movies with me back in the day, whatever. Okay. I was able to spend a good amount of time for him right before he died. As he was on his deathbed, I got a chance to really talk to him.
Okay.
Have some time, and so I'm going to talk about that too.
Right.
Got to talk about Dick Nose. Got to talk about Rob. You know what I mean? Who just passed recently. We talked about it a little bit.
Right.
But we definitely going to talk more about him, what he did. I don't know if you remember Brandy. They used to go to the club with us. He used to live on Pilgrim.
Man, you said every time you say the name.
You don't remember?
I can't remember her offhand. Yeah, I would have to see her though, man. I hate to say it.
She
I remember the name though, but I can't picture her face.
She was brown skin. I mean, but yeah, I just remember that seeing her body coming out that West End. We just got out the pool.
Right.
So we talk about her a little bit. We definitely gonna talk about Quandale for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
We gotta talk about Quandale.
Yeah. We gotta talk about Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure.
Talk about my Uncle Cliff. A lot of people don't know my Uncle Cliff, how wild this nigga was.
Okay.
But definitely we gonna talk about him. God rest his soul.
Right. My cousin Johnny too. Johnny Nelson. Johnny Blaze. Everybody called him Blaze. Shout out to Blaze, man.
Johnny Blaze.
For sure.
We gotta talk about Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid the comedian.
Yeah, for
Detroit
sure.
legend.
Yes, sir. Cool guy too. I'm glad his name was Kool-Aid.
He definitely was. We gotta talk about Brian Harvey.
B. Harvey all day.
Gotta talk about Harvey.
Him and Forrest, bro. I got some hell of a stories with him and Forrest, bro.
But them two was together all the time.
Together, yeah, for sure.
We gotta talk about Puda.
Puda for sure. Damn, I forgot about Puda. Yeah, for sure.
Talk about
Big green-eyed Charles, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charles, bro.
And that was my dog. How big black nigga with some motherfucking green,
green
ain't
eyes.
That some shit? It used to be crazy, dog. And this nigga was a lunatic.
And he was crazy as hell, but he was cool as
crazy for who he was cool with.
Yeah, I ain't never had no problem with him. And I used to watch him do niggas bold. You hear me?
Mesmerized by these eyes, and I choked the shit out
you. Feel me, dog?
He was one of them big ass niggas, bro.
I remember he used to be on the bus at camp kissing his muscles and shit, bro. Charles
that nigga was always way bigger than us.
He was strong as fuck,
14,
man.
Nigga looked like he was 25 years old.
Nigga looked 30 at 14. I was all right.
All right, man. That's really just a few, and we can't even really keep the list going down.
Right.
Just so y'all understand where we coming from on this mental illness tip.
Yeah.
This don't happen to a lot of people. Definitely across the world, this shit is very rare. I remember doing this thing at school where I had to write down the people that I lost, and I remember I had to stop writing. I couldn't remember, and I remember the white boy who played wide receiver from Wisconsin who had his class with me. He had grandma on his shit. It was the only person he had ever lost in his life.
Damn.
We don't understand the mental aspect of that shit. That's on some war shit, you know what I mean? The post-traumatic stress disorder that comes with losing a friend at such a long age and just understanding how life would just stop
Right.
We can be chilling right here, right now, and then boom, it just stop.
Right. That's
And we
sure.
just expect it to just go on and be regular, and not even have shit to say about it. So, I know he missed a bunch. You know what I mean? Even my football player Underwood, like, you know, I was telling my football team when I first got out of college, I had a little league football team, Trouble Youth, and I was telling them, man, you know, life about to happen real for y'all.
Right.
And even them little niggas started going to prison and dying. You know what I mean? So just to even talk about them, you know, was a whole nother aspect of things too. But man, I wish we had more time to talk about that, but we definitely gonna keep it going on, or not maybe on the next one, we gonna pick it up again with the Book of the Dead.
Right.
And like I said, this ain't somber, y'all. This is to celebrate the people who we love.
That's for sure.
I want you to do the same for the people that you may have lost in love. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Same thing you just said, man. Love your people while they're here, man. I got a lot of people now that I tell them I love them all the time. So I'm gonna say this on live, on air, man. I love you, brother, for many reasons you don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? But just keeping it real, man. Everybody don't get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So show love to your people while they're here, because I'm gonna keep it real. One day it's all gonna be a wrap.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, and I love you also too,
For
my
sure,
brother.
man. That's for sure.
And I hope I show you through my actions.
Right.
And also too, for anybody in LA, I'll be in LA doing comedy at the Improv.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, man, I get inducted into the Hall of Fame, UAD Sports Hall of Fame.
Man, get out of here. So I gotta wear my suit. You gonna come in suit and booty? I gotta wear my suit next week.
Shooting and beauty. With my Hall of Fame face.
That's dope, though, bro.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So it's gonna be a big week for me, man.
Right.
So I'm gonna be working like a motherfucker until I get, till I gotta go to LA. But when I get to LA, I'm gonna be able to really like at least relax for a minute.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? Work on my comedy, have some fun.
I feel that.
And get it in with the Viacom.
Right. Okay.
So,
man, I remember I talked to you right before you went in that bitch.
You remember I remember
that. I talked to you right before you like, dog, I'm right outside of my
I will never forget that experience ever in my life, bro.
That's for sure, bro. That's good shit.
But
man.
yeah, so it's starting to come to fruition. But thank y'all for listening again. I love y'all. See y'all next week, same time, same place.
Peace.